Did you know that a financial crisis in ancient Rome has echoes in the 2008 crash? It's true. Throughout history, economies have boomed and busted, leaving lessons we often forget. Today, we're taking a whirlwind tour through the world's biggest economic meltdowns, from the Roman Empire to the modern day, to see what we can learn. Our story begins in 33 AD, in the heart of the Roman Empire. A sudden change in financial policy, a bit like a modern central bank surprise, triggered a massive credit crunch. Land prices plummeted, loans dried up, and the whole system seized. Fast forward 2 centuries to the crisis of the 3rd century. This wasn't a single event, but a 50-year nightmare of political chaos. Constant civil wars, runaway inflation, and foreign invasions. The empire nearly collapsed under the strain, showing just how fragile a superpower can be. Now let's jump to the 14th century. A truly dark time for Europe. A perfect storm of climate change, the Little Ice Age, led to the Great Famine. Then came the 100 Years' War, draining resources and manpower. But the ultimate catastrophe was the Black Death. This plague wiped out up to half of Europe's population, creating an unprecedented labor shortage that completely upended the feudal system and reshaped society forever. Next, we visit the 17th century, Netherlands, home to the first speculative bubble in history, tulip mania. People went wild for exotic tulip bulbs, and prices soared to absurd heights. At its peak, a single bulb could be worth more than a house, but it was all driven by speculation, not real value. When the bubble burst, fortunes were wiped out in an instant. A classic lesson in greed and irrational exuberance. A similar story unfolded in 18th century England with the South Sea Company. The company was granted a monopoly on trade with South America, and investors, fueled by wild promises of incredible profits, bid up share prices to astronomical levels. When it became clear these profits were a fantasy, the market crashed, sparking a severe financial crisis and leading to new regulations to prevent such schemes. The late 18th century brought another major shakeup with the credit crisis of 1772. Years of easy credit and risky lending in London suddenly came to a halt. A major bank collapsed, triggering a panic that spread across Europe and even to the American colonies. This credit squeeze strained relationships between Britain and its colonies, adding fuel to the fire that would become the American Revolution. The 19th century wasn't spared either. The period from 1873 to 1896 is known as the Long Depression. It started with a financial crash fueled by post-war inflation and rampant speculation in railways. The panic began in Vienna and quickly spread to America and the rest of the world, leading to a prolonged global downturn, mass unemployment, and profound social and political change. Of course, no discussion of economic crises is complete without mentioning the Great Depression. The Roaring Twenties ended with the spectacular Wall Street crash of 1929. A toxic mix of overspeculation, excessive credit, weak banks, and disastrous government policies plunged the world into the deepest and longest economic downturn in modern history. Unemployment skyrocketed, and global trade collapsed. It was this crisis that gave rise to modern macroeconomics, and the idea that governments must actively manage the economy, as seen in Roosevelt's New Deal. Jump into 1973, we have the OPEC oil crisis. In response to Western support for Israel during the Yom Kippur War, OPEC countries declared an oil embargo. The price of oil quadrupled almost overnight. This oil shock sent waves of inflation and recession through industrialized nations, a stark reminder of how dependent modern economies are on energy and how quickly geopolitical events can disrupt global stability. The end of the 20th century saw its own share of turmoil. In 1997, the Asian financial crisis erupted. Countries like Thailand, South Korea, and Indonesia had built their economies on short-term foreign loans. When foreign investors got nervous and pulled their money out, local currencies collapsed, leading to financial chaos and deep recessions. Shortly after, the world experienced the dot-com bubble burst. Investors poured billions into internet startups, many of which had no clear path to profitability. When the hype died down, the tech-heavy Nasdaq stock market crashed, wiping out trillions in paper wealth. And that brings us to the crisis many of us remember the global financial crisis of 2007-2008. It began with a housing bubble in the United States, fueled by risky subprime mortgages. These bad loans were bundled into complex financial products and sold to investors worldwide. When the housing market collapsed, these products became toxic, freezing credit markets and leading to the failure of major institutions like Lehman Brothers. The crisis triggered a severe global recession, the worst since the Great Depression. So, what have we learned from all this? A few key themes emerge. Human psychology, greed, and fear drives bubbles and panics. Over-reliance on debt and speculation is a recipe for disaster. We see the critical need for sensible regulation, financial transparency, and flexible policies. And in our interconnected world, international cooperation is essential to prevent a local crisis from becoming a global catastrophe. History shows us that while we may not be able to prevent every crisis, understanding the past gives us the tools to manage the present and build a more resilient future. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey through economic history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces that shape our world. See you in the next video.